Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Russell here, and this is just a quick video to let you know that tomorrow, Monday, July 19th, the 21st application period for the CRB will be opening up, and this is actually a rather important application because this is the final application where people who have been applying since the beginning will actually be able to get the full CRB amount before the reduction, along with some other little nuances, change in amounts and change in who is actually eligible for these new amounts. That all is starting to actually take effect as of tomorrow. So in this video, we're going to go over exactly who is going to be getting this new lower amount, how much this new payment is actually going to be when it finally hits your account, once we account for all of the taxes that are taken away from it, along with other details that you need to know, and then we'll go over some other news that's happened in the past 2 weeks. But before we do, make sure to click the link in the description where you can get 40% off of the Canada Money Mastery program, where we teach all of the fundamentals for building wealth right here in Canada. All right, let's dive into this information. In order to understand who will be seeing this reduction and by how much, we need to first break people up into 3 different groups of types of applicants to the CRB program. First off, we have people who have claimed it for every single period since the beginning of the program back in last September. Next, we have people who have applied at least once before this upcoming July 18th. At any point over the past year, applied at least once for the CRB. That's another group. They haven't applied for every single one, but maybe a few, maybe 4 or 5, or any amount less than all of the periods. And then we have the third type of applicant, somebody who is applying for the very first time after tomorrow. Let's start with if you've applied for absolutely every single period, all 21 periods of the CRB so far. For anyone who has done this, this will be the last time that you receive the full $900 into your account. Remember, that's $1,000 with 10% tax taken away. You've likely been seeing $900 go into your account every 2 weeks. Now that is going to change. This will be the final one where you actually receive that $900. As of your next application, the amount that you'll receive will go down to $600, which inside of your account will actually look like $540 once they take the 10% tax away. Also, it's important to keep in mind that people who have been applying since the beginning, well, after 2 months now, or 4 more periods, that will be the end of your eligibility for the CRB program as it stands right now, and that would make Monday, September 13th your absolute final application for the CRB unless anything changes before then. Now for the next group, anybody who's applied for the CRB in the past but hasn't actually applied for every single period throughout the past year, things are a little bit different for you because you won't automatically be going down to this new lowered rate of $540 into your account when you apply. You actually are able to get the full 21 periods at the full amount. So you need to do a little bit of a backdating and check how many weeks and how many periods you actually applied for, because until you've finished that 21st period, you'll continue to receive the $900 every 2 weeks until you meet that 21 period threshold. Once you hit that 21 period threshold, your next application will be at the lower $540 amount into your account. And it's important to keep in mind that for these people, the last application period that you can possibly apply for the CRB as it stands right now, the application will actually be put in on Monday, September 27th. So that's important to keep in mind that even if you won't have applied 21 times for the program as it stands right now, and we'll talk more about this in a moment, is set to end on the 27th of September, that being the final day that anybody can apply. And now the final group, if you're somebody who's newly applying to the CRB program and you're doing so after tomorrow, well then even though you haven't used the CRB, those 21 periods at the higher amount, if you're new and starting the program, you'll be starting at the lower amount that people who have been applying since the very beginning are now switching down to. That means that after this next period, anybody who applies for the program will only have 4 periods left before the program is set to end at that same end date as I mentioned before. And if you've been following this closely, you'll know that Bill C-30 was the actual thing that brought in and allowed for this change, the reduction, but also the extension to be applied to the CRB. But there is one detail that can sort of fluctuate and change here, and it's actually written into this bill, and it's right here. They say that by regulation, on the recommendation of the Minister of Employment and Social Development, that's Carla Qualtrough, and the Minister of Finance, that's Chrystia Freeland, they can amend certain provisions of the Act to replace the date of September 25th, 2020 2021, that's the end date of the program, by a date not later than November 20th, 2021. So they're going to actually be able to choose if they want to, and if the numbers sort of support it, the unemployment numbers, they would be able to extend the CRB program all the way out until November 20th at the latest. But there are some little intricacies that could sort of change inside of that. Even if they extend it to November 20th, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to allow for more periods to be applied for. It could just be an extension for people who are new to the benefit and not people who are actually have been applying since the beginning. So there's a little bit of nuance there that we're going to have to wait and see and find out about once the Parliament goes back into session. They're currently on a 2-month break here, but when September hits, I'm sure we're going to get a little bit more information. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can stay 100% up to date. And by that point, there's a good chance that we might actually be in the midst of a federal election. Many experts are believing that come September or early fall, that there could be an election here. So I want to fill you in on a couple things that have been happening over the past couple of weeks that you may not have heard about. First off, Canada's big banks absolutely exploded throughout the pandemic in terms of profit, and there's some guidelines that are set to be taken off of these banks that will allow them to pay out some of these revenues to their shareholders and sort of reward them for investing in the company. In this video, we go over how you can actually use the rules and the regulations that are put in place to actually earn back some of the fees that you may have paid at your bank just from having an account by investing in that bank and sort of taking advantage of those sort of rewards that are about to be distributed. Second, the NDP and Jagmeet Singh absolutely called out Trudeau on one important thing in his eyes, and that is housing. Jagmeet Singh announced a plan to, with the NDP, if they were to get into power, build 500,000 new homes to try to solve the current housing crisis. In this video, we go over all of the biggest criticisms that the NDP are laying against Justin Trudeau and the Liberals when it comes to housing, and we also go over the NDP's plan, and we talk about like, hey, is this actually something that could realistically happen? Then the Bank of Canada put out some new information on how they were going to be slightly changing the monetary policy here in Canada. So in this video, we talk about what that means for you, some of the concerns about inflation that some people have as a result of this, and how you can actually protect yourself from that inflation. And then I indulged myself a little bit and made a video about a topic that I'm very interested in right now, and that's cryptocurrency, and in particular, a certain index fund of cryptocurrencies, which allows you to sort of invest in the broader cryptocurrency ecosystem without having to put all of your eggs in one basket. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can check that video out, or even the links in the description where you can sign up with Newton to buy cryptocurrency. When you put in $100, you get $25 for free. So check that out. And finally, we talked about how some politicians are sort of hitting a campaign trail right now, even though there's no election announced. We see Trudeau going to various different press conferences, announcing a whole bunch of funding, and it seems he's actually set out and he's announced $5.13 billion in spending. So we talk about where all of that's going in this video. But that just about covers it. If you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and make sure to check out that link for the 40% off coupon code GROW for the Canada Money Mastery program. Again, that's where we talk all about building wealth right here in Canada. It's a great program. I'd love to see you in there. But with all that said, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I really hope this video has helped you out at least a little bit, and I'll see you next time.